stepfather of the bride, Emily Blake Basil. And I'd like to welcome you. I see a lot of friendly faces in here that I know and a lot that I don't know, but hope to know before the night is over. We have Joan. Aunt Joan came from Vermont. My brother and many of Liz's nursing friends came from Colorado. We have people from all over the country, and I'd like to welcome you all. Thank you very much for coming. We are here to celebrate the union of Andrew Tuck. It's a great name. His father's middle name, Andrew Tuck, and Emily Blake Basil in this union of matrimony. What a glorious day. And you all look great, by the way. Except for you. I don't know about you. Just kidding. Just kidding. You know, we're here to celebrate a union, and there are many of us here who have made a journey, and there's some who have not been able to make it. I would like to mention our notable absentees. Gregory Tuck, Dustin, could not make it, left us far too soon. Emily's dad, Kenneth Basil, passed due to the tornadoes that ripped through Tuscaloosa, Alabama several years ago. And her dear young brother, Peter Stockton Thomas Basil, passed at 20 years old, far too young. But we know they're all here in spirit. So let's hear it for those three. Here, here, here. Now we get down to the meat of the matter. A union of two wonderful people, Andrew Tuck, who I've just met a few years ago, who I've come to adore, respect, and know, not just as a new family member, but as a friend. I welcome that to my heart. And the marriage of my stepdaughter, my bonus daughter, Emily. I didn't have one of my own, but Emily's been with me since she was 5 years old. And I welcome her into my life then, and I welcome both of you into my life now. Thank you so much for being the two of you who you are. Thank you so much. Now what we've got going on is the Gustin family and the Basil family, a united family tree. And now it's time for you to develop your own branch, your own trunk of a new family tree. You're both very bright. Emily is pursuing a new avenue in her life in psychology. And Andy, I don't know what to say about Andy. I mean, RNA virology. Could you do something that we all at least halfway understand, like the sex life of water mites in the Amazon or something, you know? Come on, Andy. I know this is fertile ground, and we will once it happens, have a new family tree burgeoning in front of us. And I'd like to congratulate you both and thank you all. And there's nothing more to say other than congratulations to you both. Thank you so much.
Next we've got Deb.
Hello. I'm Andy's mom, and now Emily's mother-in-law. Like Steve said, thank you so much for being here to share this special day with Emily and Andy. You've come from near and far, and it's your love and support that will make today one that they will never forget. And I'm sorry, I have my back to it. All right. When Emily first asked me if I would like to make some remarks today, I was literally speechless, because I don't do speeches. That would have been...
Yeah, right.
Because that would have been Andy's dad's specialty. And he would have been thrilled to be here to do this. But as our family knows, if he had been here to do this, we would have been here a long time. Because it would have been long. And it would have been complete with tears of happiness. I promise mine will be shorter, but there'll probably still be some tears of happiness. So, when I began thinking about how I would do this, as paranoid as I was, thinking about how I would do this, I wondered, well, should I research on Pinterest or should I watch some YouTube videos? Seems to be the thing these days. But I quickly realized, oh, thank you, that what I really needed to do tonight was to speak from my heart and to tell you how much I love you both and how very happy I am that you have found each other. Okay, now I have to put this down because I have to switch plates. It's really short. I just picked I always wanted to be a mom. And I've been so blessed to have that dream come true. But through the years, as we would be out and about with the boys, people would actually say to me, oh, you have all boys? No girls? Bless you. Like I was going to need some kind of divine intervention, to get through all of this. I would just laugh and then I would say to them, yes, but I'm hoping I get good daughter-in-laws one day. Well, Emily, I've been blessed again. One of the good and that I hoped for. You are smart, you're funny, you're beautiful, you're compassionate, you're insightful, and you're a really good wedding planner. You've done excellent. But what I see in your eyes when you are looking at Andy is how much you love him. And what more could a mother want for her son or herself? It gives me great peace knowing that you are his other half now. And Andy, I'm so proud of you. We're having the sense to put a ring on it. And choose Emily. You not only found a loving wife for yourself, but you found a wonderful sister for the boys and a daughter for myself. And I'm like losing my place here, so we're doing okay. So I want to thank you, Steve and Liz, for sharing her with us. And I'm so thrilled that our family is growing together. And I also support that growing branch of the tree. Okay, I'm almost done. Well, I was up against it. Andy, from day one, I've been in the front row of your life and your biggest cheerleader. You've never ceased to amaze me. You can be stubborn, but you are so kind and caring. You are such a hard worker. You have followed your heart, and you found your passion in your professional life, and now your family life with Emily. You two will make a great team. A little reference for you there. So tonight I congratulate you on becoming Mr. and Mrs. Andrew Guston. Not yet. And it's only going, let's see, and I'm only going to offer one piece of advice, and that's the mother-in-law's getting involved already. The motherly advice, and that is something that was special to me with Greg. I want you to always remember to hold hands often. It seems like a small thing, but you're going to walk through life together for the rest of your lives. And it never hurts to reach out, grab hold, and remind each other that you're always there for one another. To Emily and Andrew, I love you.
Cheers. Here.
Zach is next. Zach.
Yeah, so, come on, that's a tough follow-up.
Sorry. I was the mother here, so that's
And everyone's been asking me, I've had some conversations telling them I'm making a toast. Are you nervous? And I was like, no, I'm pretty okay. Well, I'm a big fat liar because I'm pretty nervous now. Thank you. Anyway, hopefully everyone can hear me. For those who don't know me, my name is Zach Ellman. And I'm one of Emily's best friends. I'm not the best friend. That would be Lorna. which Emily has always made that very clear to us. And I'm okay with that. Okay, it's seniority. I understand. First, I'd like to thank Emily, Andy, the parents for putting this wonderful weekend of events together. Did a phenomenal job. It couldn't have turned out better.
Exactly.
No, this is very intimate. This is beautiful.
Forget all that garbage I just said. All right, where was I? Second, can we get an applause for the new couple here who both look beautiful tonight? Nailed it. Nailed it. Nailed it. So Emily and I met 11 years ago at a magical place called 915 West Webster in Chicago. Yeah, we have some representatives here. Spent a little bit of time there. It's a 3-flat brownstone in Lincoln Park. By the way, just spoke with Ryan, our old landlord. It is being sold on Monday.
What?
It is being sold on Monday. Not kidding. Don't worry, Mark. He is not making a lot of money.
Yes.
Okay. So this was the time in our lives where we recently had graduated from college in the last couple of years, and we're supposed to have a job, responsibilities, but really you're far from an adult. You're still an idiot going out and making mistakes and stupid things. And Emily and I would find ourselves coming home from the bars around the same time at 2 o'clock in the morning, and we would end up talking until the early hours of the morning, and that's kind of how our friendship grew. And we really bonded over some of those talks, and Emily's friends became my friends, and my friends became Emily's friends, and that's kind of how we're all here tonight. At that point in your life, friends become family, and Emily, you are family, and you know that. Jessica and I, and we love you very much. Where am I? I should have. Sometimes technology isn't the best. So then I was even luckier to have my girlfriend at the time become best friends with Emily, and that was something that I didn't think would happen. I knew they would be fine together, but the fact that they became so close, that was just a huge bonus for me. My wife Jessica stood up in the wedding today, and that's just, that was...
I hope you're done with three.
Yeah, you can stay, okay. Emily has been an integral part of my life for the last 11 years. We've shared many, many memories and events together, Thanksgivings. We've taken numerous trips. Fantastic dance partner. She's also acted as a de facto marriage counselor. The important stuff. But my favorite thing about Emily, and what I think makes her most special, is that whenever and wherever you're with her, you feel like that's the place to be. She has a way about her that just attracts people to her, and you just want to be around her, and you just have a great time, and she makes you feel comfortable, and you're just the most important person in the world when you're talking to her. She's extremely intelligent, funny, caring, and strong. She can come out very tough, but everybody here who knows her knows she's a real sensey. So the privilege of giving the first Friends speech is that I get to say, we all know what it's like to get real with Emily Vasile.
it's Emily Dustin. So I think it's we gotta rebrand. So I didn't put a lot of thought into this, and it's a work in progress. But put your trust in Emily Dustin.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress. We can workshop it. Emily is a fantastic friend and someone who's always willing to lend an ear, provide advice. Because of that, I hope you look around here tonight and see all the people who care about you guys and love you and are here to support you that came from very far. There are some here, but most people are far, and it's a testament to your relationship and how you have friendships with people. It's quite a thing. It's an amazing feeling. So Emily had talked about moving from Chicago for a long time. The first few years it was typically just January, February, when everyone in Chicago was thinking about moving. Then it got to be a little bit more frequent. And I really never thought that she was going to move. But then she met Andy. And then I heard a lot about Andy. How about how Andy's one of Joe's best friends. He looked like Joseph Gordon-Levitt with a beard. Major plus. And he wanted to take Emily camping. Andy sounded great, but he lived in Nashville, and honestly, I thought the long distance thing would be a challenge. But you know what? All it took was that camping trip, and Emily was pretty much done. Whether she knew it at the time or not, that was it. That sealed the deal. Of course, I got to meet Andy, and he was everything Emily said he was. Smart. And yes, Joseph Gordon-Levitt with a beard. Patient, which mostly means willing to put up with Emily, which is, they said. And then shortly thereafter, at least it feels short to me, but shortly thereafter Emily moved to Nashville and into this house, and now we're here full circle today. And it's a fairy tale. You can see immediately how much Emily and Andy care for each other and how well they fit together, support one another. Most of all, Andy allows Emily to be Emily, and they just have a very easy way about it. This toast really does not do justice to describe how much Jessica and I love you, and Andy you as well. We're proud of you, and we're so happy for you guys. We're happy that you have Andy and Andy has you. Our home will always be your home. And Andy's the only one that we would let you move away from us. So we're so honored to be part of this next chapter of your lives. We can't wait to have more memories and see what happens. I'm not going to put so much pressure on that next branch of the family tree. Maybe it breaks a little bit. But anyway, let's raise a glass to the happy couple. We love you guys.
Alright, next we've got Peter and Christopher.
I'm Andy's youngest brother. I'll try and keep this short. I know we've got some other speeches to go tonight. First of all, Emily, the card you wrote to us today, I think for both of us spoke as perfectly as could be, and how happy we are for you to be our first sister and finally a second girl in the family. Finally, doesn't run in the Gustin family a whole lot. So, and there's one story about Andy that I thought of when he's not a very good planner, and so I just found out about this speech like recently. So let me pull out my notes. There's one story I immediately went to, and that was it's actually one of those nights where we were all home in our kitchen until about 2 in the morning, and we're just hanging out with all of our family, and Andy's talking about how he's never going to become, or he's never wants to be married, and it always bugged me, and I never really knew why it bugged me. But as he moved on to school, and basically I kind of took my inspiration of being a good student and a good brother and family member and everything from him. The reason that all these years later that story comes to me and bugs me to death is because he's going to make the perfect husband and father after Dad, and all of those traits that were instilled into him and that he's taught me and has, I have you to blame for becoming an English major probably, but a couple of those things. But everything that basically I've learned, he's been my go-to, and I can't thank him enough for that, and look forward to the years ahead with both of them. All the adventures that we have together, that you guys have separate, that we join all of our families together, and I couldn't be happier about that. And magic rain dance, stop! Okay, I don't have that. Good try. But whoever kept the rain dance going through the ceremony, thank you. I think Jill did one. So, thank you for everyone to being here, and cheers to the rest of a good night. Bye.
Alright, next we've got Joe, the best man.
So, Andy, I've known you for about 32 years now. That's a fact. You've been like a brother to me. That will be the only dad joke in this whole speech. However, it's funny because just tonight, I had no idea what I was going to say, but seeing you and how you prepared for walking out and the look on your face and seeing how much it meant to you and how emotional it made you, it just proved how much she means to you. And it's not something I didn't already know, but man, you see it in your eyes and it just chokes me out because it's so real. And I can just tell what we have together is so real. And I envy it. And I'm so happy for both of you. Emily, so we've known each other for I guess 3 years now. 4 years now. I have the memory of a fish. Anyway, but definitely from the moment that we met, there was a feeling of comfort that it was just so easy. I could just tell it was going to be easy around you. I didn't have to put on a facade or be somebody you have to be. It was just I could be me and there's going to be no judgment because you're just so chill. And I love it. You're the sister that I never had, but I'm glad I do have now. And I really do think not only are you perfect for Andy, but I really do think you're perfect for our family. I think it's the perfect fit. It couldn't be better. So I'm so happy for the both of you, and I'm just happy I get a front row seat for the rest of your lives. So here's to that. Love you guys. Hi everybody, my name is Joe Rappold and I'm the best man here tonight, and thank you to my wife. She's the one who's always wooing. If you ever need to woo a girl at your party, let my wife. But so, obviously I'm the best man, right? And the thing is, everyone is going to expect me just to roast Andy. Because that's what I've been doing since the late 90s. I've just been making fun of him and walking around and no matter what he did, I would make fun of him. You could get a guy at the University of Illinois, I was like, oh, good job, I'm not going there because I'm not that smart, but whatever. And that was just who I was. And so tonight I'm actually going to tell him how I feel because life is short and sometimes you just have to tell people how you feel. So, real briefly, here's the thing about Andy. He's one of the greatest human beings I know. And what I mean by that is his enthusiasm for life is outrageous and also contagious. You see those mushrooms back there, and he's obsessed with mushrooms, right? And just a few weeks ago, I'm out camping with Lauren, and everywhere we look, there's mushrooms. And we're taking photos of these mushrooms, not because I care about them, but because Andy loves them so much. And everyone else who knows Andy is obsessed with mushrooms now. Because he's so crazy about them that you just love it.
It was the same thing with rock climbing, you name it. Same thing with Emily, you know? He just gets so crazy about something, and it's so exciting. Now the other great thing about Andy is that he's given his life to other people. And that's what I really respect the most about Andy. You know, he was a paramedic here in Nashville. First time I came down, Andy was so excited about this job he had, working with disabled kids, and now he's in Seattle doing something really huge, you know, giving his life, working on the science. I don't know what it is, but it's big. And I think if he's at all successful, which I think he will be, we'll all be better off for what Andy's doing. So at the end of the day, you know, it's important to remember that people like Andy are what we're all trying to be. And it's really important. Now that I'm a dad, you know, Andy's going to be somebody I'm like, you know, you got to be a human being. You got to be like in the apartment. You got to be a mensch, right? And that's what Andy is. So that's what I have to say about Andy. But let me talk about Emily a little bit too, because I worked for Emily, right? I introduced these two, and I was working for Emily for like 3 years. Didn't really know her that well, and we started. She introduced Lauren and I. Actually, she demanded that I go and talk to Lauren. And now that Lauren and I started dating, I left the job and she was no longer my boss. One night we're down and I found myself in Bloomington, Indiana at a bar. And we're at a huge table just like this. And Emily and I are at the end. And suddenly it was keeping it real with Emily Vasile, me and Emily. But it wasn't just some like drunk, stupid conversation. I got the feeling when I was talking to Emily that she actually cared about every little word I was saying. And the thing about Emily is you tell her something and 5 years later she'll be like, remember that time I gave your mom that Gone Up the Wind book? That's who Emily is. Like, she cares about what you are as a human being, right? Just like Andy does. And that's really who they are. And, you know, when they first started dating around my wedding, I was a little bit, you know, trepidatious about the whole thing. I felt a little bit concerned about them because they're both so full of life. And they didn't live near each other. And then one time we all went camping, the four of us. And all these stories revolve around camping, I know, but we went camping this time in Indiana. And boy, it was like they just fit together, you know? If their personalities meshed, you know? Emily's the pragmatist, Andy's head in the clouds, excited about things. And Emily's the pragmatist. And it's always the opposite too, right? Andy's always there to be excited and get all of us ready for something. And that's really how to me, they work, right? So that's why I love these two. And I'm so excited for you guys in your life in Seattle. And I don't have any advice. You know, I really thought about this a lot to give some kind of advice, but I don't have any. The only thing I can remember is that one night Andy and I were talking about a hard time Andy had in college. And his father came down to see him in Champaign. And his dad said to him, he said, Andy, the only thing you need in life is right here. Right in your heart. That's all you need in life. And that's the only thing I can say, Andy. Just remember that, and that's what your dad said. And I'll never forget that. All right, thanks, guys.
First of all, I want to thank Emily and Andy, as well as Deb, Liz, and Steve, for having all of us here and for throwing such a swanky party. It's truly a beautiful occasion, and I'm honored to be a part of it. When I first met Emily, I was 12 years old. She was the new girl in a class of kids who had all known each other since preschool, and it was clear from the get-go that she was going to shake things up. By alphabetic fate, her locker was assigned next to mine. I had many initial thoughts. My first impression was that she was funny, smart, kind, and totally exotic. I actually thought she must have come from some tropical magical place like Venezuela. Turned out she lived 5 blocks from me in the same suburban neighborhood. Anyway, then I actually got to know her, and I found out she was all of those things. And it wasn't long before I was striving to be the Kimmy Gibbler to her DJ Tanner. Over the years, Emily has racked up many personal and studious accomplishments. For example, at that same new school, she won the prestigious Literature Award, handed out by our most rigorous teacher. She went on to become prom queen, and I'd say an above-average athlete in high school. She made lifelong friends at IU,
and eventually became a runner, an avid music fan, a voracious reader, a guitar player, a frequent volunteer, an incredible dancer, which we will probably see later. And she has always remained exotically gorgeous. Look at her today.
She's been doing this since she was 5, by the way.
Given the 23 years of life we have shared together, there are very few memories or milestones that don't have a connection to Emily. And now she wears many hats in my life. She is, of course, my best friend, but she's also my confidant, my sounding board, my reflection pool, and often my reality check. And I don't think that I'm going out on a limb to say that she probably wears these hats in many of your lives too. On a recent trip with Em and her friend Suze, we talked about the many types and depths of friendship one can have in their lives. And Suze had the best metaphor, which is that some friends are snorkelers and some friends are scuba divers. Emily does not snorkel. My guess is that she has scuba dived with almost everyone in here, and we're all better for it. So it is no surprise that she has found herself on a path to getting her master's in counseling, where many more will undoubtedly benefit from her natural skill at diving deep and giving well. Just when you thought this entire speech was going to be a love letter to Emily, Andy's turn. When Emily first met Andy, I remember she was attracted to his charm, his wit, and whatever version of facial hair he had at the time. But it was difficult, but it was difficult given the geographic distance they knew was between them. It didn't take long for her to take her first trip to Nashville, and that's when it really sank in that this guy was different. I remember her calling after to discuss in detail how impressed she was by his garden, specifically the numerous varieties of herbs he grew and even dried in his own kitchen. She told me he had 2 dogs, worked hard as a paramedic, but also enjoyed camping on the weekends or an occasional mushroom hunt in his spare time. As the trips added up and they spent more time together, we talked less about what he did or the house he owned and more about who he was and the home he had created. It became clear through these conversations that she was falling in love with him. Now, 4 years later, many things have changed. And that dreamy life is not just Andy's, it's theirs. Those 2 dogs are their ultimate fur babies. Those homegrown herbs now go in their homemade pasta that they whip up together at the end of a long day. And instead of Tennessee forests, they're camping on wide sandy beaches off the Washington coast. Andy has swapped the back seat of an ambulance for the front seat on a lab bench, and Em is working hard as a graduate student. I've been lucky enough to get to know Andy over the last 4 years. He's an easy guy to love. The only thing that impresses me more than his smarts is the incredible humility he maintains while being so brilliant. I love that when he raises his voice, it's usually because he's so excited to explain some complex topic like epigenetics to you that he simply can't contain himself. But mostly I love that he's genuine, patient, fun, and kind, and those traits make him an incredible partner. In writing this, I realized that Emily has given me 2 of the most amazing gifts someone can give. The obvious one of friendship, and the other, and arguably better gift, of truly feeling known by someone. It strikes me that those are 2 of the best parts of a marriage as well. And it's so apparent that Emily and Andy already have these qualities in their own relationship. Their close friendship is evident to anyone who has spent time with them, and the love they have for each other is clear as we've seen today. But I've also never witnessed a couple work so hard to truly know one another. as I have seen these two do. And now I'm so happy for them that they get to reap those rewards. So Emily and Andy, I love you both. We couldn't be happier for each of you that you found one another. I'd like us all to raise our glasses and wishing you a lifetime of happiness on the amazing path you've already created together. I love you.
Brett, everyone wanted to say a few words.
Yeah, we want to thank you guys. You want to go?
This has been an overwhelming show of support. It has been a night unlike anything I think we could imagine. We imagined this for 9 months. It was 9 short months. It was 9 long months. But there's nothing like I should be in having you all here. It's an unparalleled experience, I think you will. And I'm not going to waste your time by choking up and not being able to talk. But I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. Every one of you makes it special for us. Every one of you has played a role in our lives that is unforgettable and makes us who we are. So thank you.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of your weddings, and you all said this thing about, we're so humble that everyone's here for us. And I was like, yeah, no shit, did I do my very far? You're going to have to say this. I had no clue. That was real. Like, this is real. This is crazy. It is a thing. If you get married, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of stuff to it. And I think for him, all we really wanted was to eat some hot chicken bites, get champagne drunk, and hang out with all the people we love most in the world, in the place where we fall in love. And you are all here, so this is a toast to you. So thank you all for being here to take this trip. And you all on that dance floor, and that is the real. I'm serious.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my head back and come on now. Don't forget to say you will. Don't forget to say yeah, 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 yeah. Say you will. Say it right now, baby. Say you will. Come on, come on. Say you will. Say it better, yeah. Come on now. Say that you love me. Say that you need me. Say that you want me. You wanna please me. Come on now. Say, come on now. Say, come on now. Say, I still remember when you used to be 9 years old. Yeah, I was a fool for you from the bottom of my soul. Yeah, now that you've grown up, grown enough to know. Yeah, you wanna leave. You wanna let me go. I want you to know. I said I want you to know right now. Hey, you've been good to me, baby. Better than I've been to myself. Hey, hey, and if you ever leave me, I don't want nobody else. Hey, hey, I said I want you to know. Hey, I said I want you to know right now. Yeah, yeah, you know you make me wanna shout. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, come on now, come on now. Yeah, yeah, now wait a minute. You know you make me wanna lift my head up and throw my hands back and kick my heels up and come on now. Take it easy, take it easy, take it easy. A little bit softer now, 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 a little bit louder now, a little bit louder now, a little bit louder now, a little bit louder.